Hello, friends. It's good to be with you today. Let's open the pages of an old book and find a story that feels as fresh as this morning's sunrise. Genesis chapter 48. A quiet moment. A small scene near the end of a long, dramatic life. A father's final blessing. A tender, powerful scene. A dying patriarch not seeing an end but the beginning of a nation. Shaped by a God who often works in surprising ways. Faith. Family. The gentle, guiding hand of a God who sees a magnificent future. Imagine a room hushed with the weight of years. Air thick with memory and anticipation. An old man on his bed, breath shallow, his time on earth drawing to a close. A sacred space where past and future meet. A simple act that ripples through generations. God's plans not bound by human traditions or limited sight. We are invited to be quiet observers, to lean in and listen to whispered words from father to sons and grandsons. Not the drama of a burning bush, not the spectacle of a parted sea, yet just as profound. A gentle touch, a quiet prayer that redirects history. This story reaches a deep place in our hearts. We all want a blessing. To understand this quiet drama, we need to know the people gathered in the room. First, there is Jacob, whose name was also changed to Israel. He is the grandson of Abraham. He is the son of Isaac. He is a patriarch of the faith. His life has been a long and winding journey, full of struggle, deception, wrestling, and ultimately, profound encounters with God. Now, at 147 years old, he is in Egypt, living out his final days near the son he once thought was lost forever. He is weak. His eyesight has failed him. But his spiritual vision has never been clearer. He is the keeper of the covenant promise, the one designated to pass the family blessing to the next generation. Next, we have Joseph. You surely remember his story. He was Jacob's favorite son, sold into slavery by his jealous brothers, and left for dead. But God was with him. Through immense hardship, Joseph rose from prisoner to the second most powerful man in Egypt, saving the known world from a devastating famine. He is a man of integrity, forgiveness, and deep faith. He has been reunited with his father and brothers, and now comes to his bedside. He is a dutiful son, eager to secure a blessing for his own children and honor family traditions. He represents the triumph of God's redemptive plan over human evil. With Joseph are his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. They were born in Egypt to Joseph's Egyptian wife. Manasseh is the older, the firstborn. According to custom, the primary blessing, the greater honor and the larger inheritance. Ephraim is the younger son. They stand before their grandfather, perhaps with awe and a little nervousness. They are on the cusp of being formally adopted by Jacob as his own sons, elevated to the status of their uncles, the founders of the tribes of Israel. They are the future, the next link in the chain of God's promise. Step into the room. Sit by Jacob's bedside. Watch this holy moment unfold. Don't rush. Absorb the calm, steady pace. We will meet the key figures. We will hear their soft-spoken words. We will witness the surprising gesture at the heart of the story. See how a father's hands, guided by a divine impulse, chart a new course for descendants. Not just history, a heart lesson. A gentle invitation to trust a God who makes the ordinary extraordinary. The scene unfolds with tenderness. Joseph hears that his father is ill and brings his two sons to him. When Jacob is told, "Your son Joseph has come to you," the old man summons his strength and sits up on the bed. He sees Joseph and the boys, though his eyes are dim with age. His heart recognizes them. He pulls the boys close, embraces them, kisses them. "I did not think I would see your face again, and now God has allowed me to see your children too." A moment of quiet joy and deep gratitude. But Jacob does something startling. As he reaches out to bless the boys, he deliberately crosses his hands. He lays his right hand on Ephraim, the younger, and his left hand on Manasseh. Joseph sees this and is displeased. "No, my father. This one is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head." This is the central, stunning moment. The crossing is a deliberate sign of divine reversal, an act of prophetic faith against cultural norms. Jacob is not confused or senile. He is guided by wisdom not his own. His frail hands, moved by the Spirit, chart a new destiny. A holy disruption is taking place. Joseph's attempt to correct his father is met with calm, firm refusal. Jacob's response is gentle and certain. "I know, my son. I know." Not confusion, prophetic clarity. He knows Manasseh is firstborn. He knows God's plan. Manasseh will become a great people. Ephraim will be greater than he. Ephraim's descendants will become a multitude of nations. The blessing is a prophecy, not a mistake. Genesis repeats this pattern. Jacob over Esau, Isaac over Ishmael. God is free to choose. God often elevates the humble and the overlooked. By adopting Ephraim and Manasseh, Jacob makes them his sons, progenitors of 2 tribes of Israel. He speaks God's promises into existence. From these 2 boys a great multitude will arise. His physical eyes are dim. His spiritual vision is sharp, the crossed hands a divine interruption of the predictable path. This short, intimate story from an ancient book offers us 2 powerful lessons for life in 2026. The first lesson: remain open to God's surprising plans. Joseph had a good plan, logical, traditional, respectful. He set up the blessing by the rules. But God had a different plan. We often lay out our future, who should be promoted, what path our children should take. But God sometimes crosses his hands, blessing the unexpected, opening an unforeseen door, charting a course we wouldn't choose. When that happens, like Joseph, we may try to correct his hand. Hear Jacob's calm assurance. "I know, my son, I know." Trust him. Surrender rigid expectations. Look for his purpose in unexpected turns. Trade our need for control for deeper trust in his goodness. Believe his detours often lead to better destinations. The second lesson: intentionally pass on a legacy of faith. Jacob's blessing was more than words. It was a tangible act. He touched his grandsons. He prayed for them. He spoke hope. In our busy world, it's easy to neglect these acts. Legacy is built in quiet moments: a hand on a shoulder, a heartfelt prayer at bedtime, a word of encouragement with love. These small acts shape identity and destiny. You may feel weak or inadequate, like Jacob. You may feel you have little to offer, but your faith, your prayers, and your love are priceless. Share stories of God's faithfulness. Speak words of life and potential. Be a steady presence of grace. These are how we pass on the blessing. Jacob's legacy was not wealth or accomplishments, but faith, lovingly transferred to his children and grandchildren. We are all called to do the same. In the end, the story of Jacob crossing his hands is a quiet but profound statement about God's sovereign grace working through human faith. A God not bound by our customs of birth order or status, who freely chooses the unexpected to accomplish his magnificent purposes. This small scene speaks of a very big God. This chapter is a gentle invitation for you and for me. It asks us to hold our own plans loosely and trust the God who sees the whole tapestry of time. Look for his hand at work, especially in moments that surprise or diverge from expectations. Let Jacob's crossed hands remind you. God's ways are higher, for our good and his glory. Pass on a legacy of faith through simple, loving acts of blessing. If this helped you understand Genesis 48, please like, share with someone who'd be encouraged, and leave a comment with your reflections. Subscribe to Walk Through the Bible chapter by chapter with us.